I guess welcome to episode 3 of Spooky Quokka, the friendly type of Moon Knight. So I take it you have seen Moon Knight as well.
I have seen Moon Knight. Yes, episode 3.
Excellent.
The friendly type.
Yes. So it's obviously we were left with a bit of a cliffhanger last week with Mark in Cairo, and that's where this week's episode kicked off.
It sure did. Should we do a quick breakdown of scene by scene?
We can do. Before we do that, though,
yes.
Have you noticed a slight upgrade in my recording studio?
I really like your chair.
Yes. I got an early birthday present for my wife.
Nice.
I got this new chair.
Wow. So I've seen those online. They look pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. I went to JB Hi-Fi a few weeks back.
Oh.
And I saw it in JB Hi-Fi, and I said to Kat, I don't need a chair, but if I ever was going to get a chair, that would be the chair I want.
That is a pretty awesome gaming chair. If I was you,
yeah.
I would start gaming online.
I'll have to start gaming online now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only downside of it is the chair is quite large, and it is very difficult to get in and out of the comic room. So, if I'm going to game, I'll have to game right here.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But no, it's I'm very excited to have this chair, and it came with this headrest cushion as well.
Ooh.
But I haven't actually put that on the chair because it's weird. But I can put it like that. There you go. Oh, that's it. That's like now I'm relaxed.
Now as we know, you also have a spare Captain America cushion upstairs in your theatre room.
Yes,
hidden away.
I do.
Yeah. Yes.
That's right. It's in a box. It's in a box. So I just thought I'd mention the chair, and just so everyone knew there was that slight upgrade from the dining room chair I've been sitting in the last 2 weeks.
There we go. Okay.
So recap Moon Knight.
Hey, Moon Knight.
Remind me what I just said. Yes.
Season 1, Episode 3, The Friendly Type. So, after the previously on Moon Knight, we get to see Layla having her passport forged.
Yeah. We do.
Now, so did you see the QR code?
No, I didn't even see a QR code this week. I missed entirely. Did you see it?
The closest I could find, there was something on her passport, but I couldn't scan it properly.
Ah, right, okay.
So Liagro was the forger. Obviously, she's got a good relationship with Layla and her father. Talking about the past, setting things up for a more of an exploration of Mark and Layla's relationship, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think this episode went a bit more into that later on in the episode, but I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Absolutely. After that, we had the awesome rooftop fight. It somewhat reminiscent of Aladdin and Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, I can see that. It was it was one of those fights that kind of like jumped straight into it. But it was the reverse of the first episode where you had Stephen blanking out, and then when he comes to come to terms with what Mark has done, and here it's the opposite way around with Mark blacking out and then realizing that Stephen's done some stuff in between times.
Yes.
So it was a nice callback, I thought.
Yeah, Stephen like taking control. That was just awesome. Yeah. Then we had the taxi, where obviously then Mark comes back and he chases the two offenders through the streets of Cairo in a very once again Indiana Jones, Aladdin sort of feel.
Yep, that very, very much so. Very, very old school adventure-y kind of a situation going on there. And when he catches up with one of them, like the Khonshu giving his sage advice on how he should be interrogating the guy.
Oh, that's it. That's after he's blacked out. So it wasn't Mark. It wasn't Stephen. who killed the other two? Was it Jake Lockley?
Who's Jake Lockley?
Jake Lockley is the traditional third personality of Moon Knight.
Ah, right.
Yeah, so he is the taxi driver. Bear with me just a moment. Where are we? Let me just find what I'm looking for.
No, that was just me that was there in the screen. So
Yes. Is it? No. Seriously, I spent ages getting this one already before. And then it doesn't work.
don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
I'll fix it in post. But in the meantime, let me just go. So over here.
Does that show the three personalities of
It
of Moon
sure
Knight?
does, yes.
Ah.
So these are the three traditional personalities. What we have here is we have Mark Spector, the assassin, soldier for fortune. Jake Lockley, the taxi driver.
Right.
And then Stephen Grant, the art dealer.
Right. Okay. So Stephen is in the comics. He's not a gift shop. Gift shop guy.
No, you could say he's probably more of a art dealer / purveyor and accumulator of artifacts.
Ah, I see.
But Jake has been known to be very violent in the comics before.
They probably are going to go that way with the character of this one, because they seem, with Layla's character, they seem to be making her a bit of a Robin Hood figure in, like, stealing from the imperialists and giving back to the people that they were stolen from, although keeping some for herself, obviously, to be able to live.
Yeah.
So it was
and there's also the implied relationship between Mark and Layla's father. Yeah, which in the comics he was working for Marlene's father, and Raoul the Bushman killed them all.
What a prick. But yeah, it was a good first scene to set up a bit more of her backstory. So yeah, it was good to see that, and then jumping obviously into the action as well. This was probably the most action heavy of the 3 episodes so far.
Absolutely, and it was fun action as well. That rolling chase scene. It reminded me as the exact opposite of the Book of Boba Fett slow speed chase scene recently. Yeah, when they're all going through the speeder bikes on Tatooine at 20k an hour. Yeah, it was almost the opposite of that. It was fun.
Yes. It was good, and I think changing the setting as well from London to Cairo is just giving it a bit more an international feel, and also it's the whole thing's based on Egypt, so you had to get to Egypt and experience that. So yeah, I thought it was very, very cool.
Well, that's it. Normally the story starts in Egypt. In this case, we've had the sort of the spice. We've had some nice flavour for the first 2 episodes. And now we're sort of backtracking to the origins of Moon Knight.
Do you think we'll ever get a flashback to how he became Moon Knight, and like was Khonshu trying to make his avatar Layla before he ended up getting Mark? Like, will they show that? Do you think?
No, I don't think they will. I don't think they'll show Layla as such. Getting
she was a blonde in the comic. Well, it was
Marlene. Yeah,
it was a different character. It was a different character in the comics. I wonder why they went with. I guess maybe they're just trying to make it more diverse. I guess in the character.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a really big fan of Moon Knight, and I was okay with it. I don't have a real problem with that. Why not have someone with a ethnicity of Arabic, playing a character in a Egyptian god story. Yeah.
It does make sense. It
Yes.
does makes a lot of sense. And it was I did enjoy like how they brought the two of them together in this, and it showed her skills as a tracker, and also it shows that she's not the helpless female. She's always like on the front foot pretty much.
Yeah. So Uncharted vibes or
Yeah, I guess so. Although there's not
So-
as much double crossing. It seems like in Uncharted, everyone was like double crossing everyone. So in this one, it seems less of that. They seem to be a bit of a team going on there, which is good.
good. Okay. So after the mass murder of those Egyptians at the hands of an unknown personality, perhaps Jake, perhaps not, we cut to the dig site where we have one of my favourite lines from Harrow. That stupid pigeon. So yeah, so he's aware of what's going on there.
Well, he's referring to Khonshu when Khonshu decided that he needed to get the attention of the other gods by eclipsing the sun.
Correct.
It was
yes.
it was the sun, was it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, he moved the moon in
And,
front of the, in
yeah.
front of the sun.
And so, yeah, I guess he's got control of it, being the god of the moon and everything like that. So,
Well, would hope so.
yeah, and so he did that, and then we get to go to a pyramid and go and meet up with some other avatars of the gods.
Yes, but before that, Mark asks Khonshu if he has any good ideas. He does admit that making an eclipse would be a bad idea, but does it anyway.
Mhm.
And worst case scenario, he'll get turned to stone. Now,
Yes.
in the comics, it was a statue of Khonshu that Mark died in front of. So that's sort of like a nice little callback there, a reference of it. As you can see in the panels up above, he is a stone statue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, I can see that.
There
He's
we
a
go.
much bigger stone statue than he becomes at the end of this episode.
He is, indeed. He's like a little. He's almost like a trinket from the British Museum.
Yeah, it's quite right. Straight from the gift shop. That's what he
Yeah.
looks like.
Cool. So then they, back to the pyramids of Giza for a rather big trial of Harrow.
Yeah, it was a bit of a kangaroo court, though. I must admit. Like, these gods, they just don't know what's going on, really.
Well, I'd probably say they're more of a jackal court, but that's just me.
Funny. No jackals in this episode, though.
No jackals, no.
No.
No. Now they do mention, I think at this point, that during the trial that the other Egyptian gods are in the overvoid, which was a concept introduced by Jeff Lemire, who I love him for so many the New 52 Swamp Thing issues. So it was in volume 5, where he created the concept that Khonshu was actually not an Egyptian god, but an old god who just kind of like hung around with the pantheon. So he's like what are they calling Shulmagarath in Doctor Strange now? Gigantus or so he's
I'm
like
not
a
sure.
he's a elder god who hung out with the Egyptian gods, but the Egyptian gods have basically gone to a pocket dimension called the Overvoid, and that's where they sort of sit, chill, and relax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we
Until they take over these avatars for a bit of a chat.
yeah. So they're just chilling. They're quite happy. They're living their best life.
Pretty boring avatar work, though, for them, really. Like, at least Moon Knight gets to do something.
True.
These guys are just like, I'm just going to take you over when I need to so we can have a bit of a meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, memory check. How many gods are there in the Etihad.
I have no idea.
Well, if you remember in episode 1, Mark,
Yeah.
Stephen says to Donna, sorry, a bit of an oversight here, a bit of a typo, whatever. You've got 7 gods pictured, but there's 9.
Right. Okay.
Yet, at the trial with the Etihad, there was only 5 gods.
Mm-hmm. They're
So-
asking too much of me to remember.
What do you mean?
I'm going
It's
to
midnight.
need to get a board with like pins and strings and so I can understand everything what's going on.
Hey, my other personalities have already done that. It works very well.
Excellent. Excellent.
My Jake Lockley has it all sorted.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there is quite a difference in only the 5 gods. So throughout the trial, I was going, hey, where are the others?
Budget
Where are the
constraints.
Nudas? For example.
I'm sure they'll bring them into it later on. They've just got to hold things back for season 2.
Okay. So during the trial, they have to obviously summon the accused, Mr. Harrow, and the trial did not go well.
Well, it didn't go well for Mark
No.
because Harrow basically played on the fact that he's got multiple personality disorder and said he's a very disturbed person being manipulated by Khonshu.
Yes. Dissociative.
Yes.
Yes.
Dissociative personality disorder.
Yeah. Identity disorder.
Yeah.
DID.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Worst person ever. Cancelled on Twitter. Just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Harrow basically had the avatar of Horus eating out of his hand. It was, and later in the episode, they were having a nice little one-on-one. So I do wonder if Horus is perhaps there is some history there, and Horus would just like this realm to end, so he can live happily ever after in the Overvoid.
What a bastard!
Yeah,
Really, that's just
putting it out there. Yeah. So here's the thought: what if Stephen was called rather than Mark? Do you think there could have been a different outcome?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
he might have tried to talk his way out of it.
Well, Stephen's the one who's seen Harrow do the killing.
True.
far as
Yes,
we
that
know.
is true. Yeah.
As far as we know, Mark's only been told by Khonshu that Harrow is so bad. So yeah,
Very true.
because he would be a very likable fellow, wouldn't he? Right.
No, I think it would be they should have. It was one of those things about like not letting him out. It was the same thing like Stephen not wanting to let Mark out because Mark was going to be violent, and Mark didn't want to let Stephen out because he thought he wasn't going to get control again. So it's a very interesting scenario.
Well, that's even Khonshu.
Do you think
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So then, after the mock trial in the Jackal Court, Mark is told by avatar of someone, goddess of love and music, that there is another way. The tomb of Senfu, not Sifu, Senfu.
Senfu, right?
Yes, that in there lies a potential to find the tomb of Ammit. Which is what they were
Right.
after.
Mhm.
So
why couldn't Harrow find it with the scarab thing? Is it like the scarab just wasn't like fine tuned enough to be able to point him in the right direction? Like it's not like a Egyptian GPS or anything like that.
I think it is, but Mark's trying to find out where he's going. So rather than follow him,
Right.
he's just looking for another option.
I see.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I mentioned something about it being a bit cracked, that scarab thing in the first episode. Like, it'll take you to the general kind of location,
Yeah,
but not
so-
show you exactly.
Yeah. I think they're doing something along those lines, yes. But time will tell. So, Austin Powers, Mark Spector, or Rowan Atkinson's spy character, Johnny English. Which is the worst spy ever? I'm pretty sure no one can get more American CIA op walking through the streets of Cairo than Mark Spector did, trying to ask about the location of this tomb. Hey.
True, yes.
Hey, I have some juice. Hey, do you know where this ancient Egyptian tomb is? Yeah? Yeah? No? Okay. Hey! So, yeah, very obvious, and that's when Layla caught up with him.
Yes.
Which then transitioned to the glowboat scene down the Nile.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Kat pointed out that when the boat rocks up to the dock, it's kind of reminiscent of the Jungle Cruise ride at Disneyland. The boats are similar kind of boats.
Yeah, that was a good place also for a whole heap of exposition, just like a Jungle Cruise or whatever it's called.
Yes. Very true. Yes.
Exposition.
Not as many crappy puns though.
Well, true. Though there are a few little punny things coming up. So, in the exposition scene between Mark and Layla, Mark lets on that his DID has been happening for a long time. He had it under control, and it was only recently that it's got worse.
And that would be his dissociative identity disorder.
Yes.
Got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it. So he's had it for a while. So Stephen has been a personality before his interaction with Khonshu, which is good to know. For me, personally. Cause it's a long-term thing. And obviously he'd never told Layla about it in the past. Right. And now we come to the person who this episode is in honour of. My French is not very good. How's yours?
Not good at all. So I shall leave it to you.
Gaspard Ulisse, who's the actor who played Anton Mogarts, he died back in January of this year. In a skiing accident. So the whole episode was dedicated to him. He was playing the character of, as I said, Anton, also known as the Midnight Man, who first appeared in Moon Knight number 3. And this is the 3rd episode.
It's all coming together.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's all connected. I could have sworn he was going to have a bigger part in this. Like the way that they were talking about him, I thought he was going to be a bigger character, but it seems like his beginning, middle, and an end is all in this one episode.
It could be. In the comics, he was actually killed by Marlene. Well, shot in the back by Marlene, saving Mark, and he fell into a river in episode 3. So that's... We have some parallels, which we'll get into shortly. But yeah, I don't know if it was a decision to do some, some editing, or if it was a setup for a future season.
Right, okay. Yeah. Because he didn't really, he kind of, you assume he's dead, but you don't really know if, what happened was he actually did die. But do you ever feel bad for bodyguards in TV shows where they're kind of indiscriminately killed?
Hey, is it a union job?
Well, I dare say it might be. It's just it just seems like every time these people they take a job and they're just there. I'm just here to guard that person. I don't necessarily agree with what they're doing. I'm not morally obligated to them or anything like that. And then these people come along and it's like, you're in the same vicinity as these people, we're going to kill you, and not feel bad about it. And the guy's like, I've got kids at home. I've got a puppy I've got to feed. And they don't think about those kind of things. You know,
They don't.
I just feel bad for those.
But
I feel bad for the bodyguards and
if
the
they
ones
are-
they leave behind.
If they are part of the evil minion union, they do get benefits to the family, which I think is the most important thing moving forward.
As long as the family's getting benefits, that's the main thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, second reference to the greater MCU.
Matt Paul.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I noticed that. I noticed that too, and I was like, "Oh, getting closer to Wolverine and Patch."
We
Very
sure
exciting.
are. Yeah. So once again,
but-
yeah.
When you saw them there and they were doing that whole thing with the sticks, when I first saw that, I was thinking they're jousting, but then I realised it was some other kind of thing that they're doing where they're just like stabbing each other with long poles.
Yes. So it's called El Maha, which is done to celebrate Sheik's birthday.
Mhm.
It's actually reminiscent and the inspiration for a lot of the Dothraki in Game of Thrones. A lot of their
Oh, right.
ceremonial fighting.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a real thing. It happens.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
But the main reason they were going there was to find the crypt, and the crypt is going to have a like map in it, so that they can know where they're going to go to find the tomb that they're looking for.
Well, Stephen works that out because they go there and they look at it and they can't work out what's going on. Then Mark's getting the reflection of Stephen going, "Nah, you gotta do the puzzle, mate."
Mhm.
So that's when they work out it's part of the shroud.
And then of course Harrow comes and blows everything to shit.
He sure does, and enjoys it, quite frankly. He is speaking Coptic when he does the little thing where he destroys it, which is the closest that we know of the Egyptian language. It's still different, but similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course Mark has to kill everyone. Well, actually, Mark doesn't kill everyone until like.
Well, firstly, Mark ninjas the hell out of there.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
like there, then gone. And atop of the glass pyramids is the Moon Knight.
True. Yes. Yeah, because he doesn't. I forgot that he's only talking through Stephen in the mirror at this point, but doesn't actually become Stephen until later in the episode.
Correct, yeah.
But when during this fight, he does get stabby a lot. Like a lot of people put poles through him. But earlier in the episode, they'd mentioned about how the suit gave him regenerative abilities, so he couldn't die, and so that's why he gets stabbed by lots of poles and not be dead.
So in the original comics basically had increased speed and strength depending on the phase of the moon. So under a full moon, going back, I think you could lift approximately 2 tons under a full moon, back in the old Marvel rules. But obviously now they've upgraded him quite a bit.
Well, yeah, he was. I think most people would not survive the amount of impalement he received in this episode.
That was like Wolverine level healing factor.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about the fight scene was when his mask came off.
Yeah, it was one of those points where they're kind of like, we need to show the emotion in his face. Can we remove the mask? And so, at one point the mask just flies off.
But they didn't. I got enough emotion from the Moon Knight face. You know, it was fine. It was unnecessary, but good on Oscar. Good on him. Yeah.
When will people learn we know who's under the mask? You don't get to show us.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Hey, you don't need to Stallone dread it, you know?
Exactly.
Layla kicks ass.
She does, yes.
Yeah. She kicks the crap out of Beck with her necklace and eyes, which is good.
I hope she gets those back. I hope she didn't just leave them in the guy's clavicles, because that was a pretty cool little weapon she had.
It was. It was almost as cool as when. Now, did Mark let Stephen take control, or did Stephen force control? To go, hey guys, let's chill out. Let's be Russell Brand, apart from a whole anti-vax cult, and let's just chill out. And then when he starts getting the spears through him.
Yeah.
That was cool. And he was like, Mark, take over, Mark, yeah, I'm good, Mark. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, so we did get to see Mr. Knight again at that point in time. Yes, yeah.
Ever so briefly, but yeah.
I do like how they're using that different costume element, like to have this Mr. Knight character, but it's still just Stephen in the Moon Knight costume. So yeah, it's a very cool way of doing it.
It is, which makes me wonder what will, if it is Jake, what will his Moon Knight costume look like?
That's true. Yeah, very true.
There we go. So
because
pretty much
really got the traditional and the Mr. Knight costume. So yeah, a third one might be something completely different and unique.
I know. So I'm very excited for that possibility. So after that, Mark saves Layla, and Layla. Mark hits him in the back with a crescent moon throwing star, and off he rides into the mist, alive or dead. We didn't know.
Are those crescent moons? Are they just regenerative? Do they just regenerate as well? Because like he seems to use those a lot. So
yes, they must do, because he was throwing them left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Well, that's very lucky. I mean, he's not like Batman, where Batman's got to like make these things and he's got to pick up after himself. Like Moon Knight's just like throwing them all over the place, and they just disappear.
Yeah. One thing I did find in this episode was his suit. The Khonshu suit was very much. What am I looking for? It was almost like unstable molecules. You could really see it shift and do what he needed it to do.
Yeah.
So a part of me was wondering if when he did that mass crescent explosion, was that from his cape?
Was that because he was like a lot of bullets were going into his cape beforehand, and then he turned around. I thought he was doing that like Superman thing where he just like bounced the bullets back at the people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he could have done that as well. It was a bit hard to ascertain, but yeah, it's a definite option. Yeah.
Because that's what I thought it was. It was just like him shaking off the bullets and like just throwing them back at the people who shot him.
Yeah, that works too. God damn my camera. I thought it was initially him like doing a crescent through from his cape, but that I'll go with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, and really like I don't feel too bad for those bodyguards because they shot him in the first place, so they deserved it. Yeah.
Plus, they were non-union bodyguards.
That's true. They were scabs, so they deserved everything they got. Yeah, quite right.
What do you think the favourite thing about that jacket was for Mark?
I'm not sure. It was, I guess he was just a fan of the fabric, maybe.
Yeah. But
it might have been the cut. The cut might have been very flattering. So
could be disposing of gave him the option to have that white hoodie. Which
and you know what? And sometimes you get that white jacket with some really nice buttons, and it's really sad when you get shot and you got more holes than you want.
Yeah, but you can see on the promo picture with the white hoodie in the background behind Mr. Knight.
Yeah.
So while they were driving along, Mark, just refused to open up to tell Layla about what was happening, what was going on. So, pretty.
And in a marriage, communication is paramount. So you got to make sure that your wife knows you, knows your personality, knows your alternative personalities. It's very important.
Meanwhile, out in the desert, Mark and Layla are trying to work out this shroud thing. Like, how does it work? What's going on? How will this lead them to the tomb of Ammit? Stephen knows. But Khonshu says to Stephen, to Mark, don't give your body to the worm. He won't let you have it back. So interesting, he really doesn't trust Stephen. Yet very shortly, we'll see Stephen has earned Khonshu's trust.
True.
Yeah.
But it was good that, like, when Stephen, like, took control, he didn't just, like, run away. He actually, did what he could do to help out in the situation.
Yeah. He was like, bam, what? Here's a riddle. Nice star-shaped sextant thing. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think he's trying to get Mark's trust so he can actually come out a bit more.
I think he would just like to stop Harrow, to be honest, as well.
That is true. That's true.
I mean, he was downplayed as a bit of an idiot in the first 2 episodes, but he obviously had a unique skill set, so to speak.
True.
Yeah, he was pretty full bottle on ancient Egyptian law.
Oh, he knows his Egyptian stuff.
He sure does.
And he gives him a nice, star-shaped star guide.
Yeah.
Which isn't completely accurate because the Earth moves and the stars slightly move, and so
especially
things
over
aren't
2,000
quite where they
years.
should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
If only they knew someone who remembered every night and could alter the sky. But what if that person could risk being turned to stone?
What he did. He's kind of a risk taker. He's Khonshu. So he just went, I can do it. It's cool, but I will need your help.
Yes. So between the two of them, they turn the sky back 2,000 years so that Layla can get an accurate read of where the tomb of Ammit would be. Which in this case was 29 degrees north, 25 degrees east from where they were. Which
and also before they started doing that, Khonshu said, tell Mark to come and release me because he knows he's going to be turned into stone.
Exactly. Now, when Khonshu was up on the top of the sand dune or mountain or hill, whatever it was a half moon. So this is episode 3 of 6.
Yes, halfway through.
Halfway through, half moon.
Interesting.
The other moons have been less than half. It's been like quarter or waxing moon so far. So I'm hoping, I expect in episode 6 to see a full moon.
A full moon, eh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm thinking we might see the moon phase progress throughout the episode. So I'm thinking the season will take 28 days in total.
Very cool. That sounds like it's very, very likely to occur. I think that sounds like a good call.
So while Stephen is doing his hand thing with Khonshu, he does feel his powers become drained.
Yeah, he does go very Baby Yoda at the end of this. Bit Grogu. He needs some sleepy time after using his Jedi powers.
And that's when, after this is done, that's when we cut to Harrow at the Pyramids of Giza, talking with Horus's avatar, Celium, I think his name was.
Celium?
Celium.
Good fibre.
It is.
Celium husks. Good fibre, yeah.
And that's when they turn Khonshu to stone.
But they're very nice about it, though. They turn him into a stone statue of himself. They didn't just turn him into a pet rock, which they could have done. So that was very nice of them, I thought.
I was actually hoping it would be a life-size statue.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Again, budget cuts. They wanted to, but all they could afford was a thing that big for the gift shop.
Yeah, exactly. So it did tie back to the Stevens gift shop origins. It was. Overall, what do you think?
I thought it was a good third episode. Like, there's not so far. There's no like padding out or anything like that. It seems like everything is kind of purposeful. I mean, they've only got 6 episodes to play with, and they seem to be doing a really good job of it.
Mm. And that's it. We're halfway through, so it's very very lean. This episode, I think, had a pretty good balance of action and exposition.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just worried how they're going to cram everything into the next 3 episodes.
Oh, the next 2 episodes will be filler, and then they'll just try to cram everything in the last episode.
Yeah, last 10 minutes of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 3 episodes in, will we get Werewolf by Night?
Oh, I'm still hopeful that we get a Jack Russell somewhere. But
Jack Russell watch. I'm thinking best case scenario, post-credit scene in episode 6.
I was hoping for a post-credit scene today. Like I was watching through the credits, and then they had a bit of black for a little bit, and I was going, "Oh, post-credit scene," and then
you get the red
nothing back.
Yeah. Then there was a red Marvel thing for a second. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But unfortunately, no post-credit scene there. So, but yeah, no, it was. I thought it was a really enjoyable episode. But yeah, it's just again, it's kind of like you just want to know what's going to happen next. But it's a week-by-week thing, so we've just got to wait.
Exactly. So in the meantime, I would recommend reading Moon Knight Volume 5 by Jeff Lemire.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be a big influence in this comic, as well as Volume 4, which was the Warren Ellis series with Mr. Knight as the main character. And don't read the old shit, because seriously, it's not that relevant anymore. It's nice stories, but it's all about the new shit, because it is better.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Definitely. So new is always better.
Yeah, sure. Right. Anything else you want to comment on the episode?
No. I think we've covered off on everything. So.
No. Last question. Last 2 questions. Do you think at the end Moon Knight, the Mark Spector body, will die?
At the end of the series?
Yeah.
Well, that's
last week you said no. What is it this week?
Well, the thing is Oscar Isaac, I believe, is only contracted to do this season Moon Knight. So if they were to do more Moon Knight with Oscar Isaacs in there, then obviously it's going to cost them more money. So, I mean, it's a possibility that they could have Mark die at the end of this, and that way they can bring in somebody else's Moon Knight in future versions of it. Exactly. There you go. They need more female characters, so easy. Done.
Yeah. And will we see Blade?
No.
So you're definitely no on Blade?
Yeah, still no on Blade. Yes.
Right. No Blade. Okay. Maybe on Jack Russell? And would you say probably on Mark's death?
Well, I mean, if they're going to do West Coast Avengers, they're going to need Moon Knight. So, I'm a very solid maybe on that Mark's death.
50-50, 60-40?
No, I'll go 50-50. At this stage, 50-50.
I'm going to go 80% alive, 20% death chance.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go Werewolf by Night, post-credit scene, episode 6, and no Blade.
No Blade. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see very little other crossover with the MCU. We've had a few little Easter eggs, like the Global Appreciate whatever GRC in episode 2 on the bus, and the Madripoor reference. But I don't think we'll see too much.
When the last episode of this, of Moon Knight, would that be shown in the same week that Doctor Strange The Multiverse of Madness comes out?
Good question.
Because if that's the case, then we may see some ripping in the sky and maybe some alternate versions of Moon Knight.
or at the very least, some sort of interaction with it, as we did with Hawkeye. And okay, bear with me a second.
Because it's either going to be the week that Multiverse comes out or the week before.
Okay. Well, just while I bring up, for fuck's sake, just while I bring up my calendar, any thoughts on all the recent Jared Leto? Not so much controversy, but the review of his pedophilic cult.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You have no idea?
No, I have not heard any of this.
Oh, okay. So next week will be on the 20th. That'll be episode 4. 27th would be episode 5. Damn, what? 4th will be episode 6.
So there you go. Multiverse of Madness Day.
We're going to get some... we might get some juicy crossover then.
There might be. But what's this whole Jared Leto thing that I haven't heard anything about?
Really?
Yeah, I've heard nothing about this.
Okay. Shall we end this one and bring up a separate feed for the next one, which may have topics that one should not talk about?
Yeah, or you can do it off air.
No, do it on air. We'll do it as a separate feed.
Okay, fair enough. We shall do that. Right, fine.
Okay, in the meantime, check out Spooky Quokka next week for episode 4 of Moon Knight. Lewis, socials.
Yes.
Go for it.
You can follow the general pop culture shows on the Unscripted the Film Show Facebook page and Instagram, and on the Diz Down Under Facebook page and Instagram. You can listen to all the general pop culture shows on your podcast app of choice. Just look for Diz Down Under, look for Unscripted the Film Show, and look for Tangent City.
Cool. Well, from me, Lewis, have a good moon night.